Hey there folks, and welcome back. In today's video I am bringing you all a review on the Browning Silver semi-automatic shotgun, and we are going to be finding out if it is worth purchasing one of these shotguns. In this video I am going to cover the specifications of this shotgun, we are going to shoot it, and I'm going to give my overall opinion and pros and cons of the firearm at the end of the video. The Silver is Browning's most inexpensive semi-automatic shotgun currently on the market. It is ranging from a value of 1070 to 1620 USD MSRP value. And on the Canadian market, you will usually find these shotguns going for roughly $1,400 to $1,800, again, depending on the particular model. Browning offers 8 different models in the Silver line with various different designs and features. One of the notable things being the camouflage stocks. So you'll be getting the proprietary ones from Browning, such as their vintage camo, or you will also be getting a Realtree or Mossy Oak purchase camo, different chamber lengths, barrel lengths. One really nice thing is they do offer the rifled barreled options, which is really nice. At least in the Canadian market, I've noticed that they are one of, if not the only options readily available for us here. My particular Silver model is actually the Micro Midas, which is going to be their compact youth design model, coming in at a 13-inch length of pole. Standard is a 14.25 inch, so there is a little bit of a difference there. In the Silver line, Browning offers only 2 gauges, 12 and 20 gauge. In the 12 gauge, you're going to be getting 26 and 28 inch barrels. Same with the 26 and 28 inch barrels, with the exception again of the Micro Midas option with a 24 inch barrel. Or in their rifled series, you're going to be getting 22 inch barrels on these shotguns. When it comes to weight, the Browning Silver is a average weight for a shotgun, especially in a semi-automatic gas gun. You're going to be getting 7.5 pounds on all their 12 gauge options, 6.5 pounds on all their 20 gauge options, and 7 pounds flat for their rifled barrel options. So they're all within a pound of each other. It's not terrible. Having a little bit of a heavier gun is also not necessarily a bad thing. You're going to be absorbing a lot more recoil with a heavier gun, and at the same time having a little bit more of a forward heavy gun, which in the 24-inch barrel it's not. On a 28-inch model, I find it really swings a lot nicer through because of that more forward heavy weight with the piston and everything under the hood. So it's really nice for leading birds or clays if you plan on using it for that. All Browning Silver shotguns come with a steel barrel with a chrome lined chamber, 1/4 inch wide rib for a nice sight plane, just your simple brass bead on the end there. And it does come with 3, all models with field barrels will come with 3 Invector Plus chokes, full, modified, and improved cylinder for your standard run. Full chokes generally for your more malleable metals, lead, tungsten, and bismuth. Modified generally I will use for my steel shot, and then your improved cylinder is going to ideally be for your buckshot and your slugs. Now with the Invector Plus choke tubes, they do say that you can actually shoot steel shot through their full chokes because they are a thicker design, thicker walls. While they do say this is allowed, I still recommend to everybody stick to modified chokes. They do say that with certain shot sizes, you can get blown patterns, which essentially your pattern just kind of goes all over the place. It doesn't maintain a proper pattern. So that's again why I just say stick with a modified. Generally a full choke with steel shot, unless you're blasting them 50, 60 yards away, a modified is going to travel out to 30, 40 yards just fine. And even when they're in close, if you're shooting ducks over decoys at 15 yards, you might just want to stick to an improved cylinder. It patterns really well at that distance. The tube on the Browning Silver is designed to hold 4 cartridges and then 1 in the chamber. The receiver, along with the trigger guard and the trigger itself, are all going to be made of a aluminum alloy. Personally, I'm not crazy about aluminum alloy guns. I know a lot of them are going towards that route. Lighter weight, still very good durability, but compared to a steel receiver, it's hard to argue with that in my opinion. I like going into steel guns. I just find the longevity of them is just way nicer. You get them just better conditions, tighter, they last a lot longer, better overall in my opinion. The recoil pad on the Browning Silver is your standard ventilated recoil pad. With the exception actually of the Micro Midas model. It's going to come with a Inflex 1 recoil pad with a hardened insert, which is really meant to assist with a more compact user, less overall recoil felt. Now that I have covered the specifications of the Browning Silver, I am going to cover some other facts that you might want to consider if you want to purchase one of these shotguns. And the first is the similarities to the Winchester model SX4. Under the hood, basically the same gas system. Very simple to disassemble to access your piston. But there it is, basically. That's the piston there. And then you got your spring and your little plunger there. It's going to be the Browning active valve gas system, I believe is what it was called. You'll notice it's the exact same system as well, actually, on a Browning Gold. Additionally, on the interior of the receiver, again, almost identical. They look super similar. Bolt design is pretty much identical. There are like some minor differences between the two, but it's not really anything to scream home about. So that's why I would say, you know, you might want to consider your options, weigh them, and see between the two. Like, one is not necessarily going to be better than the other. I've owned both. I loved my SX4. I love my Silver. They're both great guns. They've had never had any issues with them. I would really say it's going to come down to price points and what you're getting. If you find a 3.5 inch, 28 inch barrel SX4, you want it for waterfowl hunting, max 7 camo, for $100 less than a Silver in the same kind of configuration. Obviously, a Silver does have a different finish to it, and I will get on that in a second as well. I would probably just go into an SX4. Realistically, like, you got to be pretty partial to a brand if you're going to go into one or the other. And the other feature that I wanted to cover that I'm not crazy about is the different tones and finishes to the barrels. You'll notice a lot are going to be like a blued or a brown finish to them, but you also get some options that are Cerakoted. The Cerakoted models are usually going to be paired with their camouflages, whether it's proprietary or an aftermarket purchase one from Realtree or Mossy Oak. I just can't really get down with the finish of these guns. Like, the Browning logo on the side, Silver written on the side. It's got almost like a matte nickel sheen to it, but then it's going to be blued on the top and on the underside, and then matches with the barrel. It does look somewhat sleek, but I just find having so many different tones on this particular shotgun is just a little weird to me. At least with the waterfowl models, I guess you can say, in the camouflage stocks, it's just going to be like a two-tone camo stock with the Cerakoted finish on the receiver and barrel. But even so, it's just like they don't always really match the gun all that well. I wish they kind of would have just went streamlined, one color, kind of like an SX4, and that's again why I see a lot of people opting to purchase an SX4, because it's just one fixed color for the same price. Why wouldn't you just do that? I find the finish on these just doesn't really hit it home for me. I'm not crazy about it, and that's also something to consider. So now that I am done talking about some of the notable facts about this shotgun and some things you might want to consider, I'm going to begin shooting the shotgun. So we're going to go through 4 different options of ammunition that you might be shooting through this gun. I know a lot of people are going to wonder, how's the reliability of cycling, especially in lighter loads. That's one big thing on the market right now. A lot of people are complaining about not cycling with most of their shotguns. The Browning, at least for me, has not had that issue. Where you're going to generally see that issue is in an inertia firearm, usually in a Benelli, a Stoeger, Franke. With lighter loads, there's a certain cutoff where you're going to want to focus most of your attention to when you're purchasing ammunition, especially with the clay loads. So anyhow, let's get this show on the road, and we're going to try out some target loads. There we go. Lightest loads, no issues, cycled just fine, and very, very little recoil, which is very nice. I thought I had some high brass shells in here, but I guess I don't. So we're just going to be shooting some heavier weight, low brass loads, number 6s. Alrighty, let's go with the game loads. Next up, we're going to try some of the heavy steel. 3-inch number 2, Let's see how it shoots. Again, a little bit higher recoil there. Shoots just fine. I will say between the number 8, 7/8 ounce, and the number 6, I didn't notice any difference in felt recoil. A little bit more on that heavy steel, as expected. It's a 3-inch load, but still very, very little. I don't think I have any buckshot. Guess I used it all. Oh well, slugs it is. Just so you know, before anybody says that I might be a liar. I don't know. Maybe. Alrighty. Slugs. Just fine. I honestly want to say that the felt recoil with that actually almost felt the same, if not less, than that steel shot did. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, gas guns are just really nice. They're really efficient at cycling basically anything you really put through them. They are inherently going to be a little bit dirtier. A lot of that waste is going to be going down the barrel, but some of it's recycling in. Going to be in the piston. You're going to get a lot of black in there. A lot of black going back into the receiver. So you do have to clean them pretty frequently. That's one of the pros of going into basically an inertia gun. But the reliability basically of a gas gun is next to none. The recoil, the felt recoil is very low. You'll notice on a lot of these shotguns too, there's these little basically cutouts along the fore end there. You're not going to be putting your thumb up there, but there's a lot of gas emissions that are going to counteract, go upward, and that's going to counteract your muzzle rise. It's going to reduce your muzzle rise a little bit. So far, in my time of using this shotgun, I've been extremely pleased. It feels great, shoots great. I like it. Nothing but good things to say. So, and just one more round to show you with basically some target loads to show how efficient a gas gun is at cycling. I'm going to shoot it from the hip without any backstop. With a inertia gun, you can shoot it and it's not going to cycle really at all. Unless you got a super heavy load, you really have to have a good backstop on it. Otherwise, it's not guaranteed that it's going to cycle. So from the hip, let's try 3 rounds of target loads, the lightest loads. That's what we want to see. We want to see if it performs in these light loads. And then we're going to close it out. No issues. Again, as I expected. Alrighty folks, that is all for my video today on the Browning Silver. I really hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope it helped some of you make a final decision on if you wanted to purchase this gun. Like I said, I have nothing but good things to say about this gun, but I can also understand why some of you might want to go a different route. So again, thank you all for watching. I really hope you all have a good one. Take care.